Hey guys, we're here in the Hyatt Hotel in Minneapolis, Minnesota. YCS Minnesota has just come to an end, and I'm here with Robin Bachhoefner and David Erpen, who have created a very special deck for this event. Guys, would you like to introduce yourselves first, real quick?
Yeah, I'm David Erpen, and I went top 32 with Thunder Dragon.
And I'm Robin. We created this spicy deck, and we're going to show it to you in this deck profile.
Awesome. Top 32 at YCS Minnesota. Let's see it.
The idea was all his. I'm just the guy who executed it.
Well,
So yeah.
I heard birds were an obstacle.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yes, they were. I lost to draw in top 32.
All right, yeah. Birds of all kinds, be it flu wanderies or hand trap birds.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's see the spice.
So let's start with the spice. We played 3 Batteryman Solar. This card is insane. Just sending the Thunder Dragons, giving the Bystial cards anything in the graveyard to actually do something turn 1. And this plus any Bystial is Saryuja. And you can, that's then you draw into the rest of your engines and then you just combo off from there. The deck is not really streamlined, so you don't, if you see your hand, usually you don't know exactly what you will go for. So yeah, you will just figure it out on the fly. So it was really fun to play.
All right.
So yeah, basically it's just 2018 all over again. Best deck from back then. The God Dragon, Thunder Dragon. It's basically the same deck.
We just got some slightly better baby dragons for this time.
Exactly. Yeah.
9 more baby dragons. So
All right.
yeah, you can't complain there. So yeah, then to the Thunder Dragon we played 3 OG, just to discard and having something which you can shuffle back with Saryuja and giving your Bystials targets as well. It's just really good to have something in graveyard. And then we played the actual new old Thunder Dragon cards Roar, Hawk, and Dark. Yeah, you don't need any more. If you don't access them during your normal combo, you can just banish one with the Fusion Trish, so you have always access to it.
So you played 1 copy each.
Yeah, then not more necessary. Even in later game states, you will always have them in graveyard. So if you didn't start with this one, turn 2 you can Legionnaire, banish these 2, search this, put cards back. Yeah, that's just really good utility turn 2 as well. So yeah, you never need more.
Okay, so you're playing very resource efficient.
Exactly, you don't need more.
Right.
So then we come to the part which makes the deck actually good. 3 of the new Lubellions. This card is worth the price tag all the way. It's crazy what this card does so much. Searching itself again with why searching Magnemite, specialing back, tributing a dark monster, which triggers your darkest Daedalus. Not even starting a chain, so you cannot accrue or do anything to it. Then activate either one of the spell or traps, which is sometimes you even activate the spell because you don't have a good hand, and then you need to draw something. And this deck has so many power spells and power cards. So yeah, if you one draw, you can change your complete end board. It's crazy.
It's always good to be versatile because I assume you can play through most hand trips.
Let's go.
We got fans over here. That's our premium fan, Puck. Let's go.
So yeah, this card just does everything for the deck. Makes it really playable. Then the best Bystial small one. This is just crazy. Just searches another one.
Maybe just to say here, for my mode you can search any dragon monster. So in the grindy tier matchup, you can get other Bystial monsters to interrupt the graveyard. You have access to Legionnaire, which is amazing, basically against all the rogue decks or decks in general, which go more on a board-based focus. But also getting safer or whatever. So just as you mentioned before, utility, it's the key basically for the deck.
You can adapt to certain situations with this engine. That's what I really liked about the deck as well. It's not just like a good counter to the meta, but whatever your opponent throws at you, you probably be able to play through it unless it's a bird.
You're not wrong there. Like there was a game where I just survived because I activate like it was like really a grindy game one, and I think my opponent could have killed me, and then like I survived on like being able to tribute this, and I had no cards left, and he played tier, and I tributed this special summon Daedalus back in his turn, so he couldn't get over it. And I just won by this searching me follow up, drawing like a good power spell, and then I just like overwhelmed him, because yeah, I mean it was tier, but it was a really like Thunder Dragon tier as well. He even played Thunder Dragons as well, so yeah, just like being able to survive and having a search with like a loaded graveyard, that's like getting you back into like a lot of matches, like a lot of situations. So yeah, that was just way too strong. Also searching the what's it called, the Chaos Emperor is really good, because then you can get like a lot of stuff back. Yeah, then the other three is like, this is the one who like is more of an interrupt in your opponent's turn when you have the beast trap, or like just in your turn to link it away and send something to the graveyard. Yeah, this just to send mostly Magnemite or like the spell. So yeah, this is like pretty utility.
I guess like in general, like most people were prepared for the tournament that they're going to play against a lineup of 3 Magnemite, and once the one that is sent into the graveyard, especially some monster. So you could catch people just off guard by playing the max amount of them. It also increases your tier matchup like heavily if you're playing like 90 crows basically.
And you could like outgrind with that, because people would not expect you to have the extra resources, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Also against in grinding matchups against Sprite, when you break their board, like not giving them access to Elf is like really good. So yeah, that like the Bystials were crazy in this format. And then yeah, this one, which is like it's completely broken, because it like drawing every turn, just like being able to recycle all your cards as well. I think I used this under Shifter, which just like was insane, because every card could vanish, just put it back, still have the resource, draw one. Yeah, and I mean this one was, yeah, it won so many grind games, just like being able to like put them in a simplified game state with the Bystial cards, and then yeah, having this just winning games. Also, this was really good in my written feature, where I got Mind. It just activates Mind, asking me for my deck count, and I was like, it doesn't matter. And he was like, I want your deck count. I was like, doesn't matter. Main phase, activate this, destroy mine, OTK. Yeah, like that was crazy.
Gives you basic confidentiality that you can beat even these rogue decks.
Yeah. And I mean, this is also really good, because you can send it with them. He can send this to graveyard, and then in the end phase you just set this again. You just activate it. So yeah, just free utility, like, which is insane. Then probably the best card, dragon card overall, like the best chaos monster will like. There's nothing to say. This card.
It's a pretty good card, yeah.
There's like, yeah, I don't have to say anything about Lubellion. I don't want to. If you don't play this card in any like chaos deck, you're just like out of your mind.
Oh, I would like to play this in GOAT format.
I'm sure, like just as well, like it makes your first turn board so much better, because like usually, ripping a card out of your opponent's hand is usually way better than an interrupt. I just like it way more. Also, you can with this you can like with Melody of the Dragon Soul, having access to these 2 cards, like just incredible, just getting 2 cards out of your opponent's hand.
Yeah, it's just always good to limit your opponent's resources, and that does not only that, but also extends your plays and the combos with your chaos monsters and banishes. So it's like every single line of text on it is worth the money.
Oh yeah, and it's like insane going second, obviously. Then the Chaos Emperor, which is like really, really good, because usually you can search like either one you need with like Melody, and then you search the third one you need with Brotor, and then yeah, this like having access to all of three against like any kind of matchup, because usually you banish Magnemite, you use Magnemite to search, and then you banish Magnemite again, and this gets you Magnemite back. So you have Magnemite for follow-up. You get the search with Magnemite, so against Tier or any like other deck, you already have 2 interruptions for next turn, which is broken, and then you can even search another one in your opponent's turn again for your turn. And it's just like coming back, like getting a card, like being able to be special summoned from the extra deck, being a level 8 to make Hope Harbinger is like broken. Like, yeah, this card is really good. Safer just for like normal summon, either sending a level 8 you don't have, and then getting it back when you link it away is like really good. Also giving you access to the small like Pisty, no, what's the name? What's
The God Dragon engine.
What's the name of the God Dragon? Is it Pisty? Okay, then it's Pisty. I'm not sure which one is which. Road Tower for like either Seal or the Atom. I think I used it in a feature match. It's like, yeah, it just gives you access to like every card in the deck, because when you make Atom, you can either search a light or dark, because you can target either him or Atom. So you can get access to every card in your deck. Like, also, like with Atom, then you can make fusion search really easily, which is really good. Yeah, then there's the rest of the Dragon Engine, like
OG baby dragon.
yeah, like these are the news, these are the OGs.
You guys used to be in the news one day, but now you're old.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's all there is for the Dragon Engine. And then we played like 3 Dangers, Nessie, and yeah, like the basic engine. Not much to say, just like a lot of the times you need cards in the graveyard, so these help to get cards from your hand to the graveyard, making plus, being able to like sometimes going to Saryuja without having access to Solar. Yeah, they're just basically like standard and helping a lot.
I guess like in general, the deck is really good going second. So what we had to figure out is how we can actually play on our own first turn, especially if we're getting hand trapped. Because Solar, even though a lot of people actually didn't know what Solar is doing because it's a pretty old card, they're still using their hand trap because it's the first thing they see. You tell them, yeah, it sends a Thunder to the graveyard. Okay, it sends something from the deck. Okay, I need to react at that point. And you need to extend that there, and Dangers are like perfectly to fit this role, basically.
Exactly. So yeah, then like 3 Allure, because we play a lot of darks, and like if you draw Thunder Dragon plus Allure, like that was broken back then, that's broken now.
Exactly.
And like you draw into your side deck cards or your power spells way more with Allure. Then to the actual power spells, this being able to search either Levy, Lubellion, or the baby dragons is absolutely insane. Like also just putting the baby dragons back so you can search another one for next turn is like really good. And then this is like my favorite card in the deck. Just like if you resolve this card, you can be pretty assured that your opponent will not play with 6 cards next turn. That's.
Have you ever had like a hand trap like Ash being thrown on that?
Oh, a lot of hand traps were thrown on that. I think on the feature it got Ash twice.
Okay.
But I mean, it's really good for my opponent. But when it resolves, like either way he will not start on 6, because either he throws the Ash and doesn't have 6, or he gets like 2 cards ripped out of his hand.
That's fair. You got a point there. Is that it for the main deck?
That's it. That's 45 cards.
45. I was gonna ask.
Yeah, we want it to be as close to 40 as possible because we wanted to draw all the Bystials, but it's not possible since like we wanted to fit in everything.
Like we're kind of on a short clock, I guess, like to build the deck. So in hindsight, who knows? Maybe we could like go down to 43, whatever. But in general, like the deck performed really good, so 45 should be also fine.
Yeah, that's because Darkwing Blast was only released for this event, and yeah, you guys were traveling, right?
I mean, I was sick until Thursday, so yeah, it wasn't like too much time to test. Yeah,
Alright.
like I was like pretty sick during my journey.
Well, it's always good to have friends that can make up for lost testing time, right? And then your performance was outstanding.
I did good.
Yeah, extra deck.
So to the extra deck, we play 1 Guard Dragon Pisty, 1 Striker Dragon, just to like link off the Guard Dragon, the baby dragons. I mean, you cannot search, but it's still broken. Then 1 Dark. Yeah, sometimes you need to link stuff away to get more like cards into the graveyard. So yeah.
Maybe for Dark, what was really funny, people did side shifter against us, or like played shifter, because I felt, okay, it's a good card against the deck. However, if they shifter you, you can summon Batteryman Solar, send Roar, because it gets banished, you summon a Dark, you get a token, you can then go for Dark, getting their shift from the graveyard, and summon a Palooza on 3 counters. Because they shifted you, basically.
So basically you have a play with this deck that plays through a shifter and still makes a negate, so your opponent starts with a card down and you still have a negate.
Exactly, yeah, basically.
And the rest of your engine still kind of works as well. Like, it's not like you cannot play under shifter, like, which is it was really good. I think like also like the Bystial, like the spell and stuff, they all work. They all still work. It's like they're not as good, but they still work. Also, you can still make Seal and stuff, which is okay. Yeah, Seal, which is like, yeah, the best interrupt in the game probably. Also, like being able to special summon Magnemite to get free and activating the effect to get free follow up is like really good. Even like with the trap open, you can just. Sometimes they don't expect you to be able to get to activate the trap, because everybody thinks the trap only tributes like Bystial monsters, but it tributes any dragons. So. Yeah, it even triggers if you tribute it with I think I got Dark Ruled once, and then I just tributed this with the trap, and they were like, what? That's possible? And then I used the effect in graveyard, like, still to summon, which is like really nice interaction.
There's like a lot of synergy with these old dragon cards and the new ones, which is nice.
Exactly. Then IP for like if you get interrupted, or like if you can actually make it to the really good end board.
Yeah.
Which I not that often could, but it was still getting to a good end board anyway. Like, then this for like, yeah, getting rid of back row, like forcing stuff, and also with IP you can like get rid of stuff as well. Like, I think my opponent like once did activated Beast, like the Beast trap, and then did not have any dragon on board, so I just IP'd destroyed the Beast, and he was like, oh fuck. Yeah, Unicorn as well for like an interrupt. You can also go into this with IP, so it's not destructible, which is really nice. And then just the utility link for rank 4, when you cannot go to link 4, when you cannot go into Saryuja, or you cannot cannot use it for to draw, so you just make another one. This card is this card drew so many like side deck cards, or like into my power spells, like putting back two bad Thunder Dragons to get like good cards, actual good cards. Yeah, like Saryuja is. Also the arrows are like crazy. Like,
I mean, it's draw 4. Like, when was draw 4 ever bad in Yu-Gi-Oh?
It really definitely helps, and not only that, it also has the synergy of shuffling back cards that you might need as resources in the deck.
Exactly.
This to protect your end board, because your monsters are pretty weak. Yeah, it's really good against Runic Sprite, because you can take their spells, so they don't get into the graveyard. Yeah, and you just protect your like end board, because your end board is like Seal, this plus IP, and then with this they cannot run over it, which is like really nice. And since we play another card, they cannot super poly you. This to get to the fusion Trish, like, yeah, he just summons
me
Throat
all the way back to Heretic. Heretic was a deck. That's so nice.
It's just a throwback deck in general. Like,
Yep.
do you like Guard Dragon, Thunder Dragon? Do you like Trident? That's the trap, basically, is Trident.
Yeah, basically it is.
Yeah, just in general, like it was really fun also to play. That's something you mentioned.
Oh yeah, well, like I never had, like, I think this was the most fun event I had in like years, because it was like just so much fun to to actually play the deck, because you never know where you're going. You just know what you want to end on, but you don't know how to get there. You'll just figure it out on the fly, and I think that's really different to most decks in the meta actually, because if you play Sprite, the combo is like not crazy. Like you always do the same, but the interactions is really nice, and there is where the skill comes in, like knowing the opponent's deck. And this is like also that, but more like figuring out everything, like being actually like playing it, like actually playing in your turn as well. Then Dingirsu, just like because you have a lot of level 8s, just to get rid of stuff you cannot target, like Abramax and stuff. Then you also I played against Branded, and I had to like give him the Lubellion effect, so I just made this so it protects everything in the end phase. Yeah, Zeus, not much to say. If you play any like if you play any XYZs, you probably should play Zeus as well if you have the space. And then the Spice, yeah, Fusion Trish, something I think saw no play at all, like never. If you make it with 3 dragons, you can actually look at your opponent's extra deck, banish any card from your deck, and banish the top card of your opponent's deck. So this helped to play around Super Poly. Also, if Tier actually only plays 1 kit, the match is over as soon as you summon this card. Yeah, like they cannot make anything. If they play multiples, like you just banish the target for like the Rukalos, the new one, so their high spirits are dead. So the best card in their deck does nothing.
And then they have no real outs to big monsters.
Yeah, basically, exactly. And yeah. Also, I played against the Crook Cook deck, which was really funny. It was like a Crooked Cook. It was like really late in the tournament. He played Crook Cook as his win option, so he played Runic and Crook Cook with Astral Kuribo. So you can basically not get rid of Crook Cook as long as he not have any other cards, and then he just banishes your deck with the Runic spells. And game 3, I was like, well, summon this, banish Crook Cook. You don't have a win option anymore. And yeah, then you just like kill him next turn.
Oh, I'm a big fan of all sorts of Trishulas. The original Trish was my favorite synchro of all time, and now she's back in the new form.
Yeah. I mean, the original synchro is still probably one of the best synchros who will ever be created, right?
Couldn't fit like all the OG stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is just like really good utility, so you also know what your opponent's playing. Because your endboard loses to Super Poly, this is like really good to like get rid of the Super Poly.
Gotcha.
Like
All right,
round.
now let's see the side deck.
Yeah. Round 1, I banished a Super Poly target, and then he summoned a Dark Magician and Super Poly'd me to make what was it?
Dark Dragoon?
Yeah, Dragoon. And I was like, oh shit. Because like Seal was a dragon. So yeah, then the best card, like you always board this card because it's free. Like 90% of your deck is a target for this.
Yeah, especially like for some reason the Bystial monsters, they have 2,500 attack points, so you can always use it. You have the Saryuja to draw 4, so there's a high chance that you're actually getting to it.
Yeah, like you can board this at any time just to know what your opponent, like, just to know his hand and know how to interrupt. Then 3 Lightning Storms for Flunder, Flunder, and
Here we go with the birds again.
Yeah.
You can draw like next as well. Like it was basically just 6 cards to beat Flunder, and yeah.
See, this is kind of poetic. Like you're playing Thunder Dragons, and if Thunder Dragons are struggling with birds, they just call up on more lightning.
I mean,
just read his written feature. That's about it.
Yeah, when you read the written feature, like they're also good against other stuff.
All right.
This is basically the only card we sided against combo decks. Like, yeah, like not much to say. The card is broken. You should play this card when you play. When the tier makes their big board, you just force all their stuff. Doesn't matter if this is the lost card in hand. You just tribute everything. And then like try to summon their Baron. Like, or against Sprite, you just try to summon their Toad back if they make Toad. Like, yeah, the card just getting to an insane amount of attack as well. Yeah, like, you can just kill usually as well.
Pretty broken.
And then the actual spice.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Flo at this point here. Just need to mention it because it was Flo's
Florian.
idea.
We played 3 Chaos Daedalus. You want to say anything about it?
Yeah, so
Explain what this card does. Huh?
okay, so you can summon it as any chaos monster by banishing a light and dark from your graveyard. While the field spell is on the field, your opponent cannot target your light or dark monsters with card effects. And once per turn, you can banish cards on the field up to the field spells that are currently on the field. So basically, if you're playing against Runic Sprite or Runic Pure or any field spell deck, they literally have not an out, or like especially Runic Sprite, they don't have an out to this one. You can just like start banishing cards from their field or their field spell if you're feeling really needed to. And yeah,
You can just like start doing shit and then like OTK them because all their interruptions are dead. Like everything targets. So yeah, like this card, I think it came up twice because I only drew it against 2 Runic Sprites, but when it came, it was just over. Like I they had usually like 1 or 2 sets, so I forced the first one, and then I make Phoenix for the Smasher, and as soon as Smasher was gone, I just summoned this, and they were like, well, I guess game is over, right? And it was, for
That's
sure.
pretty spicy. That's pretty cool.
They can draw as many cards as they want, as long as they don't have an out to, they cannot target any of your shit, and they don't have big monsters, right? So they don't even have a battle phase, so they can't even run over even if they had a big monster. It's
Oh.
just stupid.
I expect this card to see more play in the future.
We hope
With
so.
all the runic engines flying around.
Yeah.
Any more shoutouts? Any last words? Because this was a spicy deck profile for a spicy deck at a cool event.
Yeah, sadly it's only one event deck, but thanks to all of the people who lent me cards, because we weren't prepared to actually play Thunder Dragon. We brought a lot of cards because we were like, before the event we were thinking about this event before Quito, but we weren't like prepared to actually play Thunder Dragon. Like we had all the Dragon Link stuff, we had also the Pendulum stuff, but in the end, like thanks to like Adrian Dursun and like all the other people who like lended us cards for the event, because it was really hard to get like Solars. We were like expecting to not getting Solars for this event, but yeah, Adrian had 6 with him, which was like nice. Thanks so much.
yeah. I guess just shout out to Flo and Julian who helped with building the deck. Yeah.
Shoutouts to Team Jim, shoutouts to like all our sponsors, shout out to everybody who supported us. Like, thanks so much.
Nicht verzagen, Nase fragen.